With me now is Professor of Biological Sciences. I had to wait until I could remember the title specifically, Dr. Lamberti. Dr. Lamberti researches freshwater ecosystems such as the Great Lakes and their surrounding rivers and streams, and how human activities can have big impacts on the health of these environments and the people who depend on them for water. Welcome to Notre Dame Day, Dr. Lamberti. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Abby. It's great to be here.
All right, so let's just start with the basics. Tell us a little bit about your research, about what you do.
Well, I work on the Great Lakes in particular, especially the fringing wetlands around the Great Lakes. Now, these are really important habitats around the Great Lakes, and we've lost about half of them already. And you can think of them as the last line of defense around the Great Lakes for all the pollutants and other types of materials that are coming into the Great Lakes. So these are extraordinarily important ecosystems for filtering out chemical pollutants, for example. And it's a fact that the Great Lakes contain 90% of the fresh water in North America and 20% of the fresh water in the world. So they're incredibly important for people and for the environment.
Well, you've done a great job of articulating how important they are for us. How are we doing as a population at taking care of them?
Well, we are taking care of the Great Lakes, and they're much better off now than they were, say, 30 or 40 years ago, because we're cleaning up the pollutants in the Great Lakes. We're preventing new invasions by biological species that we don't want in the Great Lakes, but we still have some distance to go to make sure that we protect this incredible resource. And so we're monitoring the Great Lakes and their wetlands and the rivers that flow into them to make sure that they're in good shape and for people and for the environment.
And it sounds like there are new ways that you are investigating as well to discover how these pollutants move around in the water. Can you tell us a little bit about what's on the horizon?
Sure, we are, Abby. I'll give you a couple of examples. People don't appreciate that pollutants don't just move around in water or through the air or through the soil. They actually move around in the bodies of organisms. And one of the things we've discovered is that wetland turtles carry metals in their bodies such as mercury, chromium, and lead, and they become kind of the canary in the mine shaft for the health of the wetlands around the Great Lakes. The other example we're working on is an introduced species, which are Pacific salmon. Now, people don't realize that Pacific salmon are actually not native to the Great Lakes. They're from the Pacific Ocean. But now they're a very important recreational fishery in the Great Lakes. But these salmon contain in their bodies pollutants that they pick up from the Great Lakes. And then when they migrate upriver to do their spawning, they go up many rivers, such as the St. Joseph's River right here in South Bend, and after they spawn, they die. Well, after they die, they leave those chemical pollutants in the water of the river or stream where they spawned, and then other organisms pick up those pollutants. So it's a very interesting way of transport of pollutants that people didn't really appreciate before we worked on it.
Very interesting, very complex. Dr. Gary Lamberti, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for the great work that you are doing.